Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and this is the Not So Serious Keto video podcast. If you hear a bunch of rumbling in the background, that's my grandson Colton. He's running around right up above my head right now. Well, not right up above my head, there's the ceiling/floor between us, but he's running around being a little maniac right now. So if you hear thunder, it's not thunder, it's Colton. I'm going to start off with a little bit of channel news. First off, I had asked last week if people really cared about what time of day I posted my videos, given that, according to YouTube, the majority of my audience is online at about 3 till 5 p.m. Central Time. The responses that I got from all of you really fell into two categories. Category 1 was, I don't care when you post, do it whenever you'd like. Category 2 was, please keep doing them in the morning. And so I will, and we can continue to enjoy our breakfast beverages together. The other pretty exciting thing, more exciting for me probably than you, is the Serious Keto channel hit a couple of pretty big milestones last week. 10 million total views. That's pretty cool. And then 1 million total hours of viewing. But the 10 million total views sounds cooler to me. I truly would have never thought this possible. When I got laid off from GE, well, back before I got laid off from GE, when I would teach to a room of 20 to 25 people, I kind of felt like a celebrity. Not like, a big head sort of celebrity, but just to have that many people's attention simultaneously was really kind of a humbling and exciting thing simultaneously for me. So to have 10 million views of my videos, I'm speechless. I can't even wrap my head around it. And it's because of all of you that I hit that milestone. So thank you so much for watching. I got an email also last week from Keto Weekly. And I'm not sure how legit this is, but they told me that I was nominated for Keto Channel of the Year. That they said, dozens of people had nominated me for Keto Channel of the Year. They've got different categories. They've got Best Keto Food, they've got Keto Influencer, Keto Podcast, Keto Channel, and then there was one other. I don't remember what it is. But basically what they said to me is, Steve, tell your audience, come on out to Keto Weekly and vote. Well, I'm not actually going to do that because, first off, it's not that big a deal to me. But more importantly, it kind of looks to me like just a way to kind of gather people's email addresses and get onto email lists. So I don't know if any of you have had experience with Keto Weekly, but if you have and you think it's legit and that people should go out and vote for their favorite podcast or influencer or channel, yep, those are the three I think that I could potentially fall into. Let me know. Let me know if it's legit because, like I said, I looked through the process of nominating people and it felt to me more like it's something that's going to get you on a mailing list. Now in the past, I've talked about some of my sleep difficulties and talked about going on to CPAP. Well, I'm not on CPAP anymore. I got my first bill for the CPAP machine and it did not correlate at all with what I was told it was going to cost. I was basically told that I was going to have like a $7 a month copay and that was going to be it. And I got my first bill and it was for 3 months and it was like $170. And that CPAP got packed up really fast and went back to the CPAP store. So no more CPAP for me. I did not enjoy it. It felt weird having something on my face. I think I felt like I slept worse because of it. I would routinely wake up again in the middle of the night and I'd have this thing on me that just felt awkward and weird and it's like wearing a scuba mask or something to bed. And I would take it off and set it down beside the bed. I just couldn't really get into it. And then to have to pay like $55 a month for something that I didn't feel was really working and didn't make me feel any better. That's sort of the end of the CPAP story. The good news is I've been trying something the last couple of nights based on a suggestion from my mom. It's funny, I was talking to one of my friends from GE about how your mom is always going to look at you as their child, their little boy, their little girl. They're always going to want to mother you. It doesn't matter if you're 15 years old or 4 years old or 53 years old. And my mom is still that way. I think every mom is that way. And my mom suggested that I try taking a couple of electrolyte capsules before going to bed. So I did. In the last 2 nights, I have slept straight through. I've not had my usual awake period from 2 a.m. to about 4 a.m. Now, that's just 2 data points. 2 data points doesn't make a trend. It means nothing at this point. But if I didn't at least tell you what I'm working on, I would get all kinds of questions down in the comments saying, Steve, you got to tell us what you're doing. What are you doing to sleep well? I'm trying 2 electrolyte capsules before bed. Or if you're using electrolyte liquid, that's fine. Whatever you're going to use, give it a try maybe over the course of this week. And we can all sort of regroup next week and see what happens. Also last week, Tuesday night, I was on the Keto Chow live stream. Now this is not like an ad for Keto Chow or anything. This is just Chris and Miriam Bear every week do an interview show on Tuesday night. I think it's every week. It may be every other. Doesn't matter. I was on last week. And it was about an hour and 15 minutes. I had a lot of fun. It was a good time. Now, if that seems like way too much, Steve, then probably don't watch that. So if you want to see what I'm like, just in my normal state, more or less, being asked questions and giving my thoughts and feelings, I mean, outside of the podcast, I guess I do a lot of that on the podcast, but I will include the link down below. You can check it out if you want. So in the Keto Chow live stream, one of the questions, I think it was near the end of the video that Chris asked me about, was why I don't do promos. So that's different than affiliate marketing deals. So I've got a handful of affiliate marketing deals, and I've only done it with companies that I believe in, that I've purchased from with my own money, and that I will continue to be a customer of. Unless I hear some just horrible story about customer service or something like that. Then that could change it, and then I wouldn't want to be a partner with one of those people. But a promo is when you actually do a commercial, essentially, within your own video for a given product or service. And Chris wanted to know why I didn't do it. And it's a struggle, really, kind of, for me, because it would be the thing, in the words of Wes Shoemaker from High Falutin Low Carb, that takes this channel and keeps it going. Maybe those aren't his exact words, but that's essentially what he says. It's the difference between this being a sustainable thing and being a hobby, an aside to a real job. I want this to be my real job. So there's that element. That could be the thing that pushes it over the edge. It's a huge struggle for me, and I don't know if I'll do it. If I do, I promise you it won't be on a lot of videos. So I don't know. I may at some point find myself doing it, but if I do, it's got to be a product I believe in. And I'm still sort of waiting for Crowd Cow to give me a call. That would be awesome. Ninja, I would do Ninja products as well too. It's just because both of those are places I've purchased from in the past, and they're great. So we'll see. That's all I've got to say about that. In terms of keto in the news, keto has actually gotten some good press in the last week or two, though it wasn't called keto. It was the Tom Brady diet. So Tom Brady was asked in an interview how he manages to stay so youthful and fit. And his answer was basically no sugar, no grain. So he said, I don't eat bread, which is a little bit ironic given that I think he's a spokesperson for Subway. Doesn't do grains or cereal or pasta, and stays away from sugar and refined carbs. I wonder if there's a name for that sort of way of eating. Then there was an article in nutrition.org that seemed to, I don't know if that was the first place that it was located, but it kind of propagated across a lot of news sources. I've got one here. It's from the Today Show. It says, the calories in, calories out concept is tragically flawed, new research says. A new paper published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition offers an alternative model to the eat less, move more message. And as you go through, it describes how hormonal changes are the primary driver of excess fat storage, and that when we eat high glycemic foods, we have a rapid increase in our blood sugar, which then leads to 2 hormone reactions, the increase of insulin and the suppression of glucagon, both of which wind up leading to fat storage. So how do we go about eating the right way then? According to this article, it says, start with eating more high-fiber foods. So these would include things like cruciferous vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Focus on lean protein and healthy fats. Reduce the consumption of highly processed foods and sugars. I wonder what we could call this particular way of eating. They certainly don't call it keto in any of the articles that I've read, even though it's essentially the same article that just copies from one website to the other. But the good thing is, if it starts putting the general public's brain into that place where they're thinking, oh, okay, high fiber foods, healthy proteins, healthy fats, that makes sense. And perhaps at some point then, we can let them know that's pretty much what we call keto. I think this may wind up being my shortest podcast ever. It's just been a busy week. Been working on a lot of things. So busy, in fact, that I didn't even get any videos made for Lean Body Mind. So you won't have to hear me do a little promo for Lean Body Mind outside of what I just said about Lean Body Mind. And that is it for this podcast. Thanks for watching or listening.